My name is Matt Connerton, and of course, my partners in crime here in this venture. We have Eric Pilcher from pilcherspoint.com. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
And Austin Hicks, who is the one who created the show.
No.
I don't know why I always
Stop this now.
I don't know why I always get that wrong. I'm sorry.
This was my idea.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is that incorrect, Eric? I thought Austin was the no.
Contributing creator.
Oh, is that a thing? Contributing creator? I've never even heard that.
I came up with the idea.
Oh.
He contributed.
Oh, I see.
Evolved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, of course, he has a Lakers banner in his background. Lakers always take credit for stuff they didn't do. So that's perfect for him right now. Awesome.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I apologize. I get very confused about things. We should mention too. So today is, if you are streaming the show live, Sunday, January 18th, 2026. So hello to if you are streaming the show live, of course, feel free to interact in the chat room on the whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. And of course, if you are getting the podcast version of the show, please make sure you like and subscribe. Well, like and subscribe on YouTube. Anywhere else, just subscribe, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But we are very
we don't have 10,000 listeners.
No, we're not on a platform where somebody blatantly.
We were not chased out of the United States, and the only place that would offer us something is in Perth, Australia.
Right.
Where people stick their thumbs in the bum of crocodiles.
Oh, is that what goes on there?
That's exactly what goes on down there. Didn't you see the episode of South Park? Crikey, I'ma stick my thumb right in their butthole.
Well,
probably how certain individuals got their gig. If we're really thinking about it.
Yeah, probably.
Allowed something to be stuck somewhere or stuck something of theirs up there. I don't know, but.
Well, we should mention right at the top of the show before we get into the undercard. So Eric and I, Austin, you're going to be so jealous. Eric and I got some free publicity.
I saw this. I did see this. Yeah,
you did see it. Yes, it's.
I'm a little upset. Austin wasn't incled in this. If you're gonna lol cow us, you got to include the crew.
Yes.
I mean. But Joe didn't make fun of you, Austin. Crazy Joe has not made fun of you yet.
Right.
So give it time. I'm sure he will.
So for those watching the video of the show, the gentleman you see on your screen, his name is Patrick Melton, or we know someone who insists on calling him Patrick Milton, but it is actually Melton, Melton. And he hosts a program called Nobody Likes Onions. And we were mentioned on the show recently. Eric and I were mentioned on that show, so we're very excited about that. I'm a Nobody Likes Onions fan. I've been a fan of Patrick for a while.
I'm indifferent, and it's indifference due to not ever listening to him.
Yeah,
I know who he is. I know what he does.
Yeah.
Kudos to him. Making a career off of it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. He's very successful.
I mean, I've heard he isn't successful.
Yeah, depends on who you ask.
Yeah, there's a certain individual who says he is not successful.
Right. But if you go to the IPM Nation YouTube channel, I did make a clip of him talking about us on his show. So... And Patrick even said my last name correctly. Some people mispronounce my last name.
Covington.
Patrick, what's that?
Covington.
I've heard Covington, Connington, Connerin.
Ratso Fatso.
Ratso Fatso. I've heard many times. Yeah.
Yes.
But Patrick Melton, God bless him. He said it right the first time, even though wasn't really familiar with me. Although he and I have interacted before, but he probably doesn't remember. It was just briefly a long time ago. But yeah, so I was excited about that. So check it out. Again, it is on the IPM Nation YouTube channel. I posted a clip. Matt Connerton and Eric Pilcher mentioned by Patrick Melton on Nobody Likes Onions. And always nice to get some publicity. And who knows, maybe. Oh, and by the way, I actually did hear from Moody, who is Patrick Melton's producer. He reached out to me. I have a text message from him. He invited me to, when Patrick was streaming live, Moody invited me to call in. But unfortunately, I was occupied. I didn't see the text message until after the show was already over.
I would be willing to call in, represent the show if need be.
Sure. No, that would be wonderful.
And bash a certain individual.
Yes. Well, that's the main reason he invited me to call in that day, was he wanted my side of the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, perhaps, who knows? Perhaps someday we'll be on. Perhaps we'll be guests on Nobody Likes Onions, hosted by the great
This tastes really good. You know what this tastes like?
What is that? What do you have there?
Victory.
Why is that? What is that?
The Patriots are AFC Championship game bound.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I assume that's like a big deal or something. I don't know anything about sports.
For football, it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, okay.
Especially when they only won 4 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and notice my cup is not a tea-stained Tupperware pitcher that's 30 years old. It is a state-of-the-art New England Patriots Tervis tumbler that has a lifetime guarantee.
A what tumbler?
Tervis.
What is that? What is Tervis?
You've never heard of Tervis? They're like the Stanley.
I actually don't know what this is either.
They're like this Stanley Cup or Yeti for plastic tumblers.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And they have all the pro sports licenses. College football, NFL, NBA, baseball. So if you want a high-end tumbler of your favorite team, you would want it to be a Tervis tumbler because they come with a limited lifetime warranty on them.
Yeah.
I have one for the Patriots, the Celtics, and Notre Dame.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, look at you with all that Tervis.
You were dying to say that, weren't you?
Not really. I mean, it just popped into my head and I said it.
That's why you're a genius, Matt.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yes, I figure, all the negativity being said about you online this week, you needed to kind of hear that.
Oh, yes. Thank you. By the way, I just received an email from the new platform that we're carried on that I can't reveal what platform it is because we have enemies. But we're on a secret platform now, and we're getting we have 10,500 listeners.
Wow!
Yeah, that wasn't.
Those are American listeners, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
we didn't have to be chased off our continent.
No,
because of our racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic views.
No, we have 10,500.
10,500 American.
I just got a follow-up email. I didn't make this up. We have 11,000 listeners.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Through the roof. Well, so speaking of numbers and ratings, can we talk about the big debut this week? Now, I full disclosure, I did not have a chance to watch it yet, but TNA on AMC, the big debut. I did not see it. I have not seen it, but I can tell you that everything I've seen about it online has been overwhelmingly negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Cage match seats, last time I checked, it had a 1.37 rating.
Oh.
Yep.
Now, to put that into context, ECW's debut on TNN had a higher CageMatch.net rating, and all they did was re-air a match from a pay-per-view. between Rob Van Dam and Jerry Lynn.
Okay.
But they had a higher rated debut. It was bad.
So did you guys both watch it? Have you both seen it?
I unfortunately watched
I did watch it, yeah.
Okay. And what's the problem? Because I haven't seen any of it, so I have no idea why people are so disappointed. Was it just a boring show?
It was a very boring show. You had 3 matches and 2 hours of television, and which is honestly worse than what WWE does. But we get on WWE for not having enough matches sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, but the thing with WWE is, as long as the segments are good, you can still make good TV. But the problem with the TNA show was all of the segments were terrible. There was not like one good segment, I would say, on that show.
And they made a lot of major production errors, like that AJ Styles' entrance music playing when he opened the show.
Yeah.
But how do I say that? They had the music muted when they went on air.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So it was just his like Titantron video playing, but
weird.
No music, no nothing.
Then they had a bunch of like TNA alumni in the crowd, except they had them sitting in a spot where there were no other fans. So the camera zooms on these guys just sitting there, and it looks like that they just are in like a secluded area of the arena with no other people around them.
And Matt, do you know how WWE sometimes they do like a shot of like the parking lot or the outside area, and they're like, oh, look how like sold out this show is. TNA kept going to this parking lot shot, and I swear to God, there was like 3 cars in the parking lot.
It looked like a desolate shopping mall that just has parking for cars sitting there for people sleeping in their cars.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was,
and they kept going to the shot. Like it wasn't like a one-time thing. Like they kept showing this, and it's like, why?
That was the money shot.
Yeah.
That was the money shot.
Yeah. And like there was problems with the card, I would say, because I mean only 3 matches, like that's bad. But like they kept showing videos of like, oh, look at we revolutionized women's wrestling with our knockouts division. Okay, like how about you show that with a knockouts title match instead of a knockouts tag title match? They didn't have that. They had a knockouts tag title match, but that was the only women's match on the show. And then they ran a thing with the X division where it was like, oh, this was groundbreaking wrestling for the time. But then they didn't have any X division matches on the show. I personally like, you could have AJ, who was like one of the founders of the X division, and like you could have had him introduce like an X division showcase match, but they didn't do that. Well, the main problem with that is Leon Slater, who is their X division champion, is currently on WWE's European tour. Which, if you're TNA, why are you allowing that? Why are you allowing your champions to work somewhere else, especially when you're in a big spot like this? Like, this is your first time on national TV in 12 years. Like, you need everybody you have.
It's not ideal, although I guess I'll defend TNA a little bit on that one because they probably didn't have a choice. I mean, obviously, we know who's in the power position with that.
And honestly, the way it was shot, like WWE Light gets thrown around for TNA a lot, but it is like painfully obvious that WWE is working with TNA just based on how they're shooting their shows.
Yeah.
Like there's almost no separate identity for TNA anymore. It just screams like a WWE show.
Okay.
Right. And look, here's the thing, and here's what's you only have one shot at a first impression. This was not good. I'm sitting there and I was watching it and I'm like, do they even have anyone that has any TV production experience working backstage? And I had to think about it and I'm like, they recently overhauled management.
Yeah.
And it's, if you knew this was coming, maybe you should have brought on some people that had production assistants.
Yeah, didn't they lay off a bunch of people?
Experience
They did.
with this.
Yeah.
They got rid of a bunch of people like recently.
Yeah.
Maybe you bring on Eric Bischoff as a consultant.
Right.
You know, I've seen people online because Eric was very critical of it on 83 Weeks.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, what's Eric Bischoff done? Kicked Vince McMahon's ass for 83 weeks.
Right.
I think the guy and did it with the top cable.
But then again, like TNA tried that with Bischoff already, and it failed.
A different time. It doesn't matter if they tried it with them in the past. I mean, there's no more Dixie. There's no more Jim Cornette. There's no more Russo. You know, and if he's just a production consultant, like it would. I think it would totally work. They would have to listen to him, and not waste his time,
right?
But they need something, because that was a train wreck. They're honestly, I was watching it and I'm like, this makes an episode of Sinclair Broadcasting's Ring of Honor look like Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But I would think it would be the same production as they've had all along. Like
you would think.
Yeah.
You would think though, but yeah, the issue is their old production staff, like, they were on a network that not a lot of people had. You more than likely had to get TNA's streaming service to even watch Impact weekly.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just a certain expectation when you get on national television, especially for a wrestling company, because like that's half the gig right there is production. And it just wasn't there, and it was a complete misfire in my opinion. And like, this is kind of a bad spot for TNA, which you can honestly say that at any point in their history, unfortunately. But this is a really bad spot for TNA because they are losing a lot of people rapidly. They lost Jake Something to AEW. They lost the Rascals to AEW.
One of the Rascals was actually cut from AEW today.
Yeah, which I mean.
Already?
If it was, he said like it was a mental health issue. So I don't. But the Inspiration, which were the Iconics in WWE, they're free agents now. So it's like
they're not going to sign anywhere else.
No, but I'm saying like they're not in TNA anymore.
Deal, but I get what you're saying. They're lacking star power.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but Sonya Deville and Elena Black, like that's not a good counterpoint to this.
I will tell you guys this: they did re-sign Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. You know, but they have lost a lot of talent. And look, if they're just going to be a feeder system into NXT.
Yeah. And it's funny that you brought up Dolph Ziggler. Guess who wasn't on that show? Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth was nowhere to be found on this debut episode of TNA.
What about his brother? Was Ryan there?
Ryan Nemeth was there. Now Ryan Nemeth did something with
it was all bizarre booking. And I read some people online saying, oh well, you just can't do a 1 hour wrestling show anymore. Yes, you can. And we'll talk about that later, because Raw, obviously.
The show's only an hour?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I thought it was 2 hours.
Yeah,
I assumed it was
lost
2
track
hours.
of time, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours.
Okay.
But again, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
But you had 3 matches in 2 hours. That's horrible pacing and booking.
What did they do with the rest of the time? I mean, that they
went to the money shot, Matt. We told you.
Or they were doing like, I mean, AJ opened the show. That took up more time than it needed to be honest. Considering what AJ basically said, he pretty much gave a hoorah speech for a company he doesn't work for, which I thought was very odd. And go ahead.
I don't know. I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you on that. I think having AJ open the show is good because he is TNA. He is TNA. Yeah. But his speech was very generic.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, there's a lot of people who work hard and do it was dumb. And it didn't set anything up for the future.
No.
So it was literally this guy just standing out here. Now they did something later backstage to possibly set something up in the future. But
then again, that made no sense because it made it seem like AJ and Kazarian were going to fight for the title, but then Kazarian loses the title in the main event.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. Like it was as if you had individuals booking this. This was their first time booking a wrestling program. There's no building for next week. No setting a tone. Like, it's almost as if they booked this as a one shot and then, we'll get it together eventually. On cable television, you don't have, we'll get it together. Sorry, eventually.
It has to be, the key is episodic long-term storytelling.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, you're going to lose those viewers immediately. Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the actual ratings. And again, I've said this and I'll say it again. Ratings is a very archaic system to measure success. It doesn't take into account streaming. It doesn't take into account DVR. It doesn't take into account later viewings.
Nielsen just revamped their entire system.
Well, but that isn't in effect yet, I don't think.
I thought it was. No, I thought it was because it turns out the ratings for Raw and SmackDown are lower. This was a big deal, like maybe a month ago.
I must have missed this.
Yeah, because they switched over to they're calling it Big Data, their new system, and it does include streaming and everything. And what turned out, and this was a big topic on 83 Weeks, is that wrestling's viewership, it would appear, based on the new system, is actually lower than anyone realized.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of thrown things into question. Is wrestling as popular as we think it is in terms of viewership of these weekly shows?
Let me say this. If you want to know why wrestling ratings are low, this is hot take by me. You look at the Dave Meltzers, the Sean Ross Sapps, and all these jagoffs that think they know, they don't know, they spoil taped shows, and on top of that, another thing that isn't looked at is wrestling is way more international now than anything. And if you can, in those international shows, if they don't air on Netflix or on a tape delay, that is going to hurt the ratings here. Because if I can read what happened online, I'm going to go through and be like, skip that, skip that, skip that. Oh, I'll watch that when it's on YouTube. Or I'll watch a ripped viewing of it on YouTube.
I'll be honest, if a show is taped, I more than likely don't watch.
Yeah, really? I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. Because I can just, because now with everything, like, people can watch internationally shows as they happen now. All you really need is a VPN, no matter where you are in the world.
Those international shows really that big of a deal? So, I mean, a couple weeks ago, yes, Yes, our VPN got us. Good job.
I mean, we just had a title change on an international show.
I was just gonna say, before Drew won the 3 stages of hell, are we like? Does anything really happen on the international shows?
Not usually.
No, there's nothing to say. You have to tune in.
I still watch them. I think it's fun to see how the international crowds.
The crowds are fun. The crowds are fun to watch.
The crowds are a lot
I
of
can see
fun.
that on YouTube. I don't need to see that.
True, fair. I still watch. Jenny and I still watch, but
and that's fine. I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from watching. I'm offering the explanation as to why we don't watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm going as a fan that doesn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch Raw when they had the Westminster Dog Show on. When it would be preempted till like 11 o'clock. I just read the results the next day at school. Mm-hmm. Although that did bite me in the butt one time, and we'll talk about that. A very big title change happened, and I missed it.
Oh, yeah.
It put butts on the other channel, but my butt was asleep in bed.
Right.
So yeah. But no, I hope TNA gets it together. But man, that was probably the worst nationally televised debut of a pro wrestling show I've ever seen.
Yeah. Wow. And like people, it's funny because like because people online and like people on podcasts were like, hey, with TNA and with WWE backing and on national television, they can make the jump to the number 2 promotion in the world. Mm-hmm. That TNA show, they don't even look like the number 3 promotion in the world.
No,
they look like bottom 5.
The ROH on YouTube looks better than
current day ROH, where you need a streaming service just to watch it, looked better than that TNA show.
Yeah. It was. Austin like messaged me while he was watching it, and I'm like, I wasn't gonna watch it, and then I'm like, I'm reading online, and then Austin comes in with kind of a recap of how bad this is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I gotta watch it. And so I went and I watched it, and I'm like, okay, this is not good.
And what made things worse, that it was a go-home show to a pay-per-view this weekend. They had a pay-per-view yesterday.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Or it might have been like just a special on their service. I think
it was a special on their service.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I mean, they did a title change. It's only happened once where you do a title change before a big show. And when it happened, the one time I remember, I wasn't a fan of it. I've heard the explanations for it, and it made no sense because at the pay-per-view, you're hot-shotting the title back to the heel.
You're talking about Luger and Hogan?
Yup, you're killing the momentum of the baby face.
I hated that.
Luger's momentum is gone.
Yeah.
You can't rebuild that. And yes, you were trying for a high rating. July 4th weekend. I get all that, but you basically ripped your nose off to spite your face. Yeah. And if you were gonna do it, if you wanted to do it at Nitro, fine, do it at Nitro, but then do something to make the title match different at Hog Wild. I mean, they booked themselves into a horrible corner where it was a no-win situation for them at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything more to say on TNA on AMC?
Get your shit together, TNA.
I know they're trying to pop a high rating next week because they're doing their Feast or Fire thing. They're bringing that back.
Oh dear God.
Which I always thought was a bad idea, but
it's such a stupid gimmick.
More power to you, I guess.
It's so dumb. It's up there with the Casino Battle Royale that AEW does.
I'm actually a fan of those.
Well,
I like the Casino Battle Royale.
That's dumb. Look, it's so stupid. You have to spend 5 minutes before the damn match explaining how the match works.
Well, they also have that with the King of the Mountain match.
And that match was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, any match, you have to spend 5 minutes of TV time explaining to the fans the rules of it.
Yeah.
You've lost the fans. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're overcomplicating things.
I really do hope TNA figures it out, because I mean, more wrestling on TV is good for everybody.
Yes.
But as far as this first show goes, I don't know.
I think we're going through wrestling fatigue right now, and this is only going to add to it. I mean, I already see people online saying, I totally forgot that AEW was on Wednesday night. I totally forgot that NXT was on. It's going to create, to me, a vacuum where WWE is just going to clean up. And then we're back where we were, with WWE being the one major company standing. I think we need
AEW is not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, look, there is some concerning things happening here behind the scenes with AEW. They might not have a network.
Yeah.
No, they will.
I think I agree with Austin. I think it'll all work out for them, but I also agree with you, Eric, that there is reason to be concerned.
There has to be reason for concern, because your network is going to be sold to Netflix. Netflix already has a wrestling company that they spent billions to get on their service. They're not going to want to shell out more money to you, and furthermore, more money because you hire outside production companies to run the production of your product.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
I think AEW is going to be in a position where they're going to have to make some major changes in order to stay viable. I mean, yes, the Khans have money. The Khans will be around, but with that, I agree with Eric Bischoff when he says without a network, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You have nothing.
Right. All right. Well, shall we move on to let's see. So we've got CM Punk there on the cover of I can never say it, WWE 2K26.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been listed as the cover athlete yet.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But usually when you get the showcase, you are the cover.
Yes, what it's been announced as is CM Punk will be a part of showcase mode, which is my favorite mode of the game, where you get to play through either a wrestler or events, classic moments of their career.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you will get to play through Money in the Bank versus John Cena in Chicago.
Yeah.
You will get to play through the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And do each classic moment CM Punk had in that.
Assuming that those matches will be in the game. I assume that Cena match will be, but I don't know. We'll see. But they're doing it. I heard they're doing it a little different this year, where yes, it'll be like classic matches from his career, but then there'll be like what if matches, like what if Punk never left in 2014, or like just dream matches in general for Punk. Like,
I also think it's funny that one of the rumored character unlocks is they're calling it, and this is rumored, Indie CM Punk.
Oh,
okay.
It's him in his Ring of Honor attire.
Oh, cool.
Which were basically basketball shorts.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting, because technically that's AEW.
I'm trying to think of a match Punk had in ROH that they could put in.
I don't think in no way would Tony Khan allow it. He owns the ROH library.
No, yeah, but like,
I mean,
I don't know.
You would have to say probably and this is some bias on my part coming out, if you put a Ring of Honor match in it, it would be Joe versus Punk 2.
That's never going to happen.
I mean, that would have to be the one.
Yeah. But, I mean, Tony Khan owns ROH. Samoa
maybe
Joe.
His dog collar match versus Raven.
Raven, I could see.
But it would, Tony Khan would have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan won't.
Right. But I think the matches for Punk, the matches that like look back on his career, Cena at Money in the Bank,
Undertaker at WrestleMania,
Undertaker at Mania, maybe CM Punk and The Rock at Royal Rumble.
They need to have a what if moment on there. What if he didn't work with Ryback?
He probably wouldn't have left.
Probably.
But the matches that will be what if CM Punk didn't leave in 2014. I don't know what matches that could be, because you got to think of the landscape in 2014. He worked with the Shield.
I think of one.
He worked. Okay.
I think of one situation that occurred because he left.
What?
Daniel Bryan.
You got to again. Daniel Bryan works for AEW.
But if you say, what if he didn't leave?
Okay, CM Punk, Triple H at that Mania.
You could have CM Punk, Triple H, and then CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Batista in the main event.
Right.
I mean, there are ways you can work around it, because, look, I've always believed this. As awesome as the Yes Movement was, if CM Punk were still there, it wouldn't have happened.
No, I mean, I feel like that's more common knowledge at this point.
I don't think it would have happened. I think CM Punk would have been the hero everyone wanted.
I feel like if CM Punk stayed, the main event stays Batista versus Randy Orton. And Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan more than likely gets left off Mania entirely.
No, they were going to have him up against Sheamus.
Oh,
for the second year in a row, opening the show.
Oh, yippee! Can't wait.
Guys, I'm confused about something. The Yes Movement wouldn't have happened if CM Punk hadn't left. Is that what you said?
No, I'm saying the Yes Movement would not have happened if CM Punk stayed.
No, I think the Yes Movement would have happened. Daniel Bryan would have caught fire because
it was already happening.
It was happening when Punk was there, but I don't think Bryan gets the main event of Mania 30.
I don't think it gets as big as it did, because it became bigger once Punk left. Because to me, you had that rallying moment now. Now you had, this is what they're force feeding us. And you had CM Punk on the record saying this is what they wanted me to do, and I wasn't doing it.
Yeah, I think it. I don't
think it would have been as big. And I agree with Austin. We don't have Daniel Bryan in the main event. I think they still would have rolled with.
Yeah, Batista and Orton.
Yep. I do not think that happens because
I don't think CM Punk was a factor, personally.
I think he was.
I think it would have happened even if he stayed.
We'll have to agree to disagree.
I know.
I mean, who knows? I mean,
it's a big factor.
Hypotheticals and counterfactuals, we'll never know. But I'm just saying,
I
think the Yes Movement was already well underway, and I think it. Right. I don't think there was any stopping that train. I don't think who was there and who wasn't there was a factor at all.
I mean, yeah, Daniel Bryan would have still gotten huge. I think the point, I don't think Mania 30 would have happened the way it did if Punk was still with the company.
No, it wouldn't have. No. I've always said that, too, that Daniel Bryan should kiss CM Punk's feet for leaving. Because without him leaving, I don't think he gets it. I think Punk would have eventually won, and I think it's more likely Punk would have eventually gotten his way.
I actually think the real money to be made was CM Punk as a heel versus Daniel Bryan, a feud like that.
Oh, yeah, that would have been interesting.
They would never have done that. No way in hell.
Why not?
no way would Vince would have given them a 12-minute match with entrances.
True. By that time though, Vince would give Punk time.
No, because Hunter was running NXT.
What does NXT have to do with any of this?
Because Hunter would have been the one to give him a shot. Vince was still writing all the creative.
I know, but what I'm saying is Punk was a main event guy during his last run with Vince as head of creative.
Yes, but Vince didn't believe in Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, well, I mean, Triple H didn't believe in Daniel Bryan, so.
So, yeah, again, I go back to my original point. Well, pal, you get 12 minutes plus entrances. Make it work.
Is it safe to say that one of these Punk matches for the showcase is going to be the mixed tag at WrestlePalooza, so AJ Lee gets in the game?
It's gotta be.
If she's not already. If she won't be already.
I have heard she will be DLC eventually.
That's lame, but whatever.
I mean, it's the nature of video games.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised Punk wasn't DLC the first game he was in.
I mean,
so.
For UFC,
or maybe he was, actually. Yeah, he was. Punk was DLC the first game he was in.
Yeah, for UFC 5, Chuck Liddell shouldn't be DLC.
Right.
And yet he is.
I mean, CM Punk Stone Cold, I assume, has to be one of those what if matches.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what else a what if match could. Punk Foley maybe, or no, Foley won't be in the game more than likely.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Punk Hart.
Punk Bret Hart, I could see. Yeah.
Punk Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
There's a lot of ways they could go, honestly.
Punk and Harley Race, maybe.
Harley Race won't be in it.
All right.
No way.
Be a lot cooler if he was.
It would be, but never will happen.
Punk Flair.
I actually think Harley Race's family is in talks with Retromania right now.
Punk and Ric Flair never happened, right? That was never a match, I would assume.
I mean,
what about Punk Scotty Goldman?
Oh.
That happened in the courtroom. We don't.
No holds barred match. Punk versus Scotty Goldman.
That was his final match in Ring of Honor, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves that.
It was a great match. I was there live.
It was a good match.
CM Punk versus Colt Cabana, 2 out of 3 falls. In Chicago, Illinois.
Maybe the 6-man tag there never was. Punk and FTR versus the Elite.
Oh.
With Larry the Dog as a special guest ref.
Okay, we need to move on. Things are devolving here, and
all right.
But I do. All right, closing thoughts. I do think it's very cool that Punk is the showcase.
Yeah.
There's a million matches you can do that would be worthy of a showcase for Punk.
There is.
And I think it'll be cool. I think.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to our last bit of the undercard here. This gentleman, by the way, I know very little about, but Powerhouse Hobbs. I haven't watched enough AEW to really be too familiar with him, but he is now WWE bound. He's headed to NXT, right? Or is he going right to the main roster?
I would imagine he would start in NXT first.
I would think so too, but then for some reason I saw something online that suggested they might put him right on the main roster for whatever reason. I don't know what the reasoning was exactly, but
maybe they would because of name value. Like people would know who he is more often than not, maybe. But
yeah,
I would start him in NXT.
I agree with starting him in NXT, but Tony Khan just gave Triple H and Shawn Michaels free meals.
Yeah.
Look at this guy and tell me he is not Triple H and Shawn Michaels' wet dream.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy they are going to push. This is the replacement for Oba Femi. This is the guy that's going to run NXT.
Yeah.
Like, you have Oba moving up to the main card, rightfully so. I get it, but you're giving your competition his replacement.
Yeah.
Like, it goes back to my thoughts on Tony Khan. You have to run your company like a business. You're not a fantasy booker. Like, I've heard basically it was we didn't have anywhere for him. Oh, so give him to the competition that does have something for him. That makes a lot of sense, Tony.
Yeah.
Brilliant maneuver.
You know, the term fumbled gets thrown around a lot when someone gets fired. Like, oh, Triple H fumbled. Oh, Tony Khan fumbled. No, this is a legitimate situation here where Tony Khan fumbled. I mean, you have a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs. He looks incredible. He has charisma. He's good on the mic. And
he's decent in the ring.
He's very decent in the ring. When he gets paired with main event guys, he doesn't look out of place at all. He looks like he fits right in, and he stays with them. And
I think his issues in the ring are magnified by AEW having too many people on the roster. A guy like that, the big thing that is hurting him is not getting TV time. Like, there's a difference for those of you out here that may not know. There's a difference between working a non-TV show and working a TV show. Working a non-TV show, you can do really whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Working a TV show, you got to get your stuff in, have it make sense, and have it in at a certain time. You can't, it's very frowned upon for you to run over. If you're given 12 minutes, that's 12 minutes with entrances, stalling, everything from curtain to curtain.
You got to hit those time cues.
And you got to know how to work through commercials.
Yep. And so, yeah, everyone's like, well, on TV, he looked okay, but you're not giving him the ability to get better. And the only way you give him that ability to get better is you have him on TV more. And you don't have him in 3-man tags or tag team matches. You have him in one-on-one matches. Do it at the beginning of the show. Do it the last match before the hour break. I don't give a shit. You do it to do it and give him that exposure and give him that ability to work.
Yeah. They and you know, this releasing wrestlers is more of just a company problem than it is an AEW problem or a wrestling business problem, I would say, because WWE does the same thing too, where
do you think a guy that looks like that WWE would release right now?
Did they or did they not fire Bobby Lashley?
Well, they just didn't renew his contract, right? Wasn't his contract up?
But there's a major difference.
Lashley's old too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say age. Yeah. A guy that looks like that and is as young as he is, would WWE let him leave?
Probably not.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's my point. That's why Tony Khan is an idiot.
Then again, I did hear that they tried to re-sign Powerhouse
They
Hobbs.
tried to re-sign him, but I heard he asked, "What do you have for me?"
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't he actually turn down a pretty lucrative deal but he wanted out. He wanted to go to WWE
because they have nothing for him. They don't know how to book him.
Because I heard what I heard was the money that Tony Khan offered to re-sign him was very lucrative.
Yeah. Yeah.
The money was lucrative, but we're at a point in wrestling now where money isn't all that matters.
No.
Look, if the money is, if their offer is here, WWE is here, but
long term you're going to make more because if you have a chance to advance your career, you're going to make more. Short term you're making less, but long term you're going to make more.
But is he really making less? Because think about this: if he's in NXT, he doesn't have travel.
Yep. They pay for it when he does.
He doesn't have to book his own hotel. He doesn't have to pay trans.
Yeah.
He can get an apartment or they rent rooms to him.
Because they if you're in NXT, they force you to live in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah. So what is he like? I mean, that money gap, if it's here, with all of that being considered, kind of comes here.
Yeah.
And you got to think of
look at it as, is it creatively satisfying? We're really close.
Yeah. And again, long term, he'll have an opportunity to make a lot more money.
Oh yeah.
You got to think of Stephanie Vaquer. She did an AEW match, but WWE was still really interested in her. But WWE wasn't willing to offer what AEW was, so WWE was like, "Hey, good luck."
Another Tony Khan fumble.
Okay, whatever. They asked me. They said, "Hey, good luck in AEW," and Stephanie was like, "I'm sorry, but I want to go to WWE. Like, I'm sorry." So
Yeah.
she willingly took the pay cut to go to WWE.
I call it a fumble because Tony put her on one of his pay-per-views and didn't ever sign to a contract.
Well, it was Forbidden Door, so you don't have to have an AEW contract to work those shows.
She had no contract with any of the companies participating in it. It was a per-show deal.
She had a contract with CMLL.
It was a per-show deal at that point.
But I think your point, Eric, Tony Khan should have locked her down.
Someone should have locked her down.
She's an incredible talent.
They tried. She chose WWE.
Then I'm sorry, your ass don't go on the pay-per-view. Tough luck.
I mean,
because that was, you think that WWE was like, I guarantee you, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and all of them were sitting there, and they're like, are they really putting her on pay-per-view? Oh my God, they're putting her on pay-per-view.
Well, wasn't the report is they were interested in her after that match?
That's what I thought.
They started kicking the tires. Again, my understanding. They had started kicking the tires for Stephanie Vaquer. CMLL had her on a per show deal. They told Tony Khan she's locked up. The problem is, on a per show deal, it can be voided by the talent at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that goes back to something we talked about in an earlier episode in the situation with Andrade. You got to have your legal team look at these contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know. I wasn't trying to debate, Austin, your take on her being allowed on the pay-per-view. I am saying, from a purely business standpoint, there is no way she should have been allowed on that pay-per-view without a long-term deal in place. And she wants to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you want to pop a Woody for Uncle Dave, give him a 5-star match. Cool. You know what? Triple H will get 5-star matches out of her for the next 10 years, Tony. Good work.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So it's shit like that just pisses me off, because you're not running this as a business.
Right.
You're running this as you are a kid sitting there fantasy booking on WWE 2K. And you cannot do that, because eventually what happens is the chickens come home to roost.
Right. And for Powerhouse Hobbs, like, what was a consolation prize was the trios titles to hopefully get and it's like, you need more than that. I'm sorry. Like, the trios titles are not even an afterthought in AEW. They're not
That's
thought
a
about
very good
at all.
point. I love that point because we're sitting here and we're talking about, what they have for him. Again, my understanding is they were going to keep him in the same position he was in.
Yeah,
it
with
was like,
with the group with Samoa Joe, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Scott Hall situation. Scott Hall went to Vince and is like, hey, can I improve my position within the company? Can I? Yeah. No? Oh, okay. Well, this did not go at all like I thought it would.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, eventually, if you are younger in this business, look, if he was Bobby Lashley's age, I could see him just staying in AEW and collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
But he isn't. And I don't think Tony Khan understands that there are some guys that money isn't the end all be all.
Yeah.
And Matt brought up a good point. He's going to end up making more money down at the end of it than he is if he stays. What happens if he stays in AEW and does a stupid spot with Darby Allin and gets injured?
Yeah. I think when Powerhouse Hobbs actually debuts is an interesting topic because I mean we have a pay-per-view coming up where a lot of people make surprise debuts or surprise returns. It honestly wouldn't shock me if he made his WWE debut in the Royal Rumble.
I would agree with that, except where the Rumble is.
It's in Saudi Arabia. I don't think that should matter.
I think to me it does, because I don't know if the Saudi Arabia, if you're going to get the pop you want to get with him debuting in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think you may want to hold off until the NXT PLE before Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I think you want him in the fold for Mania season, wherever you decide to put him. I just don't think you get the reaction you would if he debuts in America.
So with NXT crowds are more like internet fans than I would say main roster fans are. Think about who I haven't watched NXT in a while, but I assume Ricky Saints is still the NXT champion. The last time I checked, is he not?
No, he lost it.
Is it vacated right now?
I think it's still with Oba.
No, Oba vacated it.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it's vacated. Maybe he comes in for the vacated title. Maybe that's the setup.
Okay.
Maybe.
For some reason, I thought Ricky Saints was NXT champion. Then I was gonna say, I mean, you gotta think about their history in AEW. They were in Team Taz together. Like that's a natural feud just right there. Like for him, I would say, or I don't know. Powerhouse Hobbs is a guy to me that I would put him in the NXT title picture immediately.
Oh, absolutely. You don't put him in the North American title picture.
No.
You put him in the You put a rocket on his ass and print money.
Yeah. And he's also a guy I don't see staying in NXT for very long, but that also seems to kind of be the problem in NXT is they keep guys down there for way too long.
Oh, well, the problem is because on TV now you have so many people that are up there.
Yeah. But NXT also. Yeah. NXT also got gutted. Like a lot of their guys just left to go to the main roster, like Trick.
And they also cut a lot of the lower tier people. And also, let's not forget they have the show LFG.
Yeah, and Evolve.
Yeah.
That are funneling down.
And AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And soon TNA.
Yeah, TNA.
If they keep up like they're going, TNA is going to be that next minor league system.
I actually think a great way for Powerhouse Hobbs to debut in NXT, if he's going to be a heel, which I don't know if he will be, I would personally debut him as a heel first. But, Joe Hendry does a lot of these like musical segments on NXT. what I would do is like I would have him like just sing a song about whatever he's singing about, and then have Powerhouse Hobbs jump the barricade and just kill him, just absolutely brutalize him.
Do it.
Like that would be like
Do
what
it.
a way for a guy to debut. You know
Do
what I
a
mean?
Jeff Jarrett guitar shot.
Have him like spine buster Joe Hendry through the guitar or something like that, or like.
Yeah,
something.
I'm over Joe Hendry. Whatever you do, kill him. Wipe him out.
Oh, I like Joe Hendry.
I'm over it.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, but I'm over it. You know, you have such a small window to make an impact, and whether it's booking, whether it's you didn't do something right, you didn't push hard enough, whatever it is, the window for Joe Hendry at this point in time is closed.
Oh, I don't think so. I think the best is yet to come for Joe Hendry.
I do.
We believe.
I do.
I don't believe in Joe Hendry.
All right. Well, that's fine. Should we move on to the main event?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 33 years of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. Auspicious beginnings.
Yes.
The main event of the first Monday Night Raw. Austin?
It was Undertaker versus Damien Demento.
Oh, boy. Damien Demento.
And like a 5-minute match or something like that.
That's going to put butts in seats.
I liked his promos, but then the bell had to ring.
Yeah, eventually.
I can't say I've ever heard a Damien Demento promo. So
that's really the only thing I remember about the guys is promos.
I mean, he's a lot like Waylon Mercy. Waylon Mercy's promos were amazing, and Dan Spivey
they were
an amazing talent. It's
that's kind of the blueprint for the Bray Wyatt character.
Absolutely, he was. And for whatever reason, I don't know.
I've heard Bruce Pritchard talk about that. Spivey was in rough shape physically at that point.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just in rough shape physically.
Yeah. I mean, look, and it's tough because had he been in better condition, I don't want to say better shape because he was in great shape. It's just physically he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, Undertaker talks about how he loved working with Dan Spivey.
They were a tag team in WCW, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Booger Red, was that his name?
What?
Was Undertaker's name Booger Red? Am I remembering that
right?
No,
Mean Mark Callis.
Okay.
Yeah, Mean Mark. He had a U.S. title match versus Lex Luger at a Great American Bash.
Yeah, and then Ole Anderson told him he doesn't know how to make money with him.
No, Ole Anderson said one of my favorite lines in pro wrestling history. Mark Calloway will never draw dime one in this business.
Well, you just never know. Just never know.
Yeah.
Do not defend Ole Anderson.
No, I'm just saying, you just never know. You never know who might blow up.
Like, I've heard Teddy Long talk about that, and Teddy was like, I heard Ole say that, and I just sat there like.
So Raw was a 1-hour show. How long did that last?
I think it was for the first 2, maybe. It was until I want to say 97.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild to think about that, a wrestling show that's only an hour. But yeah.
I mean, and how they did it was very interesting because they would, and this got deep sixed by Eric Bischoff, they would do one episode live.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then after the live episode, they would tape next week's episode.
Yeah.
So, that created some issues too, because there was one time I remember when Shawn Michaels was suspended and they took the Intercontinental title off of him. They had an over-the-top battle royal.
Yeah.
And how they did it to pop a rating for the next episode was the last two standing were going to face off for the Intercontinental title next week on Raw.
Okay.
But they recorded
that's a
that
terrible
episode
idea. Holy.
right after that episode. So you had Razor Ramon versus Rick Martel for the Intercontinental title. Now, the issue with that is, and Scott Hall has talked about this, the issue is 2 or 3 days later, they had Superstars tapings. They taped a block of episodes with Scott Hall with the championship.
Yeah.
Now, in markets where Superstars aired on a Sunday, they did something stupid. They went ahead and they said, and join us on Monday Night Raw to see Razor Ramon take on Rick Martel for the vacant Intercontinental title. Now, for a few words about the match tomorrow night, we'll go to Scott Hall. They go to Scott Hall.
Does he have the Intercontinental title with him?
Around his waist.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
It aired.
That's brilliant.
I remember watching it on Fox at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. And I'm like, oh, I guess he wins.
No point watching that match.
So that was, I mean, look, when you have so much syndicated TV, because they had Superstars and they had Wrestling Challenge.
Yeah.
And then you do a live show and then you tape it, there's gonna be confusion.
Yeah, it gets it would get complicated. They did have one advantage though at that time. It was sort of pre-internet.
Right.
Still in the early 90s. So you know, it wasn't as easy to just go online and find out everything that was happening. So
right.
Yeah.
And by the time Meltzer printed off his newsletter,
Right, already happened, I would assume.
You already knew.
Yeah.
So it was just Meltzer ripping them apart.
Yeah.
But there were things that happened. Now, I personally thought it was cool when Raw first premiered.
Oh,
I love the look of those 1993 Raws in the Manhattan Center. Like the setup is like super simple, but you have the neon WWF logo.
Yeah.
Or when they would have Raw spelled
and the big letters.
Big letters.
And
that's one of my favorite Raw memories.
I just love the look of the Manhattan Center for wrestling shows.
Yeah.
It is my most underrated wrestling venue.
Yeah, it's a great venue.
Because it just looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But one thing that I always will remember about Raw is when Sabu climbed to the top of the R and did a senton off of it, and the R falls just as he jumps.
Doesn't Taz in the Rise and Fall of ECW, didn't he think Sabu died or something? He was like, it looked like he legit looked like he was falling head first.
He was.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
Team Taz.
For Team Taz catching him, Sabu probably would have died.
Yeah.
And no one, and again in one of the ECW shoot interviews I watched, no one told Vince Sabu was going to do that. The spot was Sabu was just going to run out and attack Taz and Team Taz.
Yeah.
But Sabu was there, and he saw the R had handles on the other side because you got to carry it in.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I could climb up that.
Yeah. And one of the funniest things about that is Vince is on commentary. So he's seeing it in like real time happening.
And I believe that also was a live episode.
Yeah. And Paul Heyman was on commentary for that too, I believe.
Yeah. So there was literally nothing you could do. It wasn't a taped episode, which there was a lot of flub ups with that episode. You had the ECW guys not understand they were on cable TV.
Yeah.
And cut ECW promos. Which, you know, I will always remember that night because I never got to watch ECW, but being that smarky kid that would go to Jim's Foods in Cedar Rapids every month and spend $20 to buy all the After mags, I knew what ECW was.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember reading in the After mags that ECW was going to invade WWF.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's going to be so cool. I'm finally going to get to see Rob Van Dam. I'm going to get to see Tommy Dreamer. I'm going to get to see Sandman. I'm going to get to see Shane Douglas. Never saw Shane Douglas. Which...
Was Van Dam even a part of those early Invasion episodes?
Yes, he was. Van Dam was a key part of it because he turned.
I remember the turn. I remember that.
Yeah, he turned. Him and Sabu turned.
Mr. Monday Night, right?
Mr. Monday Night. And then they did nothing with him because
he just ended up going back to ECW.
Yeah.
That whole thing kind of petered out unceremoniously.
Well, it petered out because, again, we go back to, I love how on these episodes, we go back to earlier points. That's really cool. Earlier point, they didn't have TV time for him.
No.
So the only TV time he got is on ECW TV when him and Jerry Lawler and Fonzie and Sabu would beat the holy hell out of ECW talent.
Yeah.
He would be on dark matches before Raw would start.
Yeah.
Or Superstars or Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And what? You're going to give Rob Van Dam a 5-minute match? Okay, cool. He's going to beat up Biff Busick or Billy Bomber or whatever fucking jobber you're going to scrape out of the bottom of the barrel of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Right. So outside of that, like, you guys got like favorite Raw moments that personally stick out?
I remember when something that stands out in my mind, which is a pretty early moment, was Shawn Michaels versus Owen Hart, where Shawn collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
Match. And I remember watching that live on television and being like, because it was pretty convincing. I was like, geez, I don't know if this is real or not. And my friend who I was watching it with was convinced that it was a work, but I wasn't so sure. You know, and of course it was a work. We found out later, but it was well done because we weren't used to seeing things like that, quite like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that was interesting. That stands out in my mind.
Right.
I have, and I thought about this. I have 3 moments.
Okay.
The first moment, 1, 2, 3 Kid defeating Razor Ramon.
Oh yes, that was huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
massive.
was major. I actually have 4 moments because another moment just came into my head. Yokozuna destroying Crush.
Yep, I remember that.
Because that would set up the worst WrestleMania match of all time. Crush versus Randy Savage at WrestleMania 10. Because Randy Savage convinces Crush, you're ready, brother. You're bruh. You're ready. And that match was the drizzling shit.
Yeah, the setup, the match itself was awful. Yeah.
Good Mania, but the show was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will always remember Bret Hart winning his 4th WWF championship at Final 4 and being so excited. And then that Monday night, he was going to face Psycho Sid for the title. And they had like 3 false starts to this match.
Yeah.
Because Stone Cold came out each time and jumped Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And then they had the match. Bret has him locked in the sharpshooter. And Sid's about to give. There's no way out. And Austin cracks him in the head with the chair. Brett falls off. Sid power bombs him. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the last one I'll always remember is Thursday, Raw Thursday. Rocky Maivia defeats Triple H for the Intercontinental title, and Shawn Michaels loses his smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just thought of another early memory too. 1, 2, 3 Kid and his upset victory over Razor Ramon and everything that came after that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you talk about jump starting a guy's career.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you want two moments in the career of Sean Waltman that I love Sean Waltman. I give him full credit. He gives credit to Scott and Brett for these two moments. His WWF Championship match against Brett.
That's a really good match.
Yeah.
It's probably the best match of Sean Waltman's career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
But he said that it's pretty much.
I love the moment in the match. I think it it's the first thing in the match where they lock up and Kid immediately arm drags Brett, and the look that Brett gives 1, 2, 3 Kid, it's kind of like okay. It's like
this wry little grin.
It's like funny. I'm kind of in for it here tonight. I didn't expect this.
how much of an impression that one little moment has made on fans, to the point that CM Punk, I forget who he was in the ring with. CM Punk recreated that very moment.
Yes.
I forget who he was with though. I can't remember now, but I remember Punk doing that same thing. Was it Darby Allin or somebody?
Yes, it was Darby. It was his first AEW. Okay. It was his first AEW match. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He kind of like.
He did the same. Yeah, he did the same thing Brett did. Yeah, it was awesome. And of course, Punk's a huge Bret Hart fan. So it made sense.
It's one of those things that you see this happen, and it really made it. Those moments to me is what made Monday Night Raw must-see TV.
Yeah,
because if you didn't see Raw, it would be recapped on Superstars and Mania and all the other programs.
Yeah.
But other memories, the first Middle Finger aired on Pro Wrestling Television.
Oh, yeah.
Was on Monday Night Raw. And it wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was Diesel flipping off The Undertaker.
Yep. I remember that. Also, the first time seeing a gun, I believe, on
Pillman has a gun.
Pillman.
Yep.
And I watched that Raw like a couple years ago because I never seen the full episode and I always wanted to.
Yeah.
And I will always give credit the way that was shot, because it looked real. Like it legit looked like
your brother Adam watched that with me live. He had nightmares that night.
Yeah, I mean, like Pillman, the great worker he sold it so well. Stone Cold books it out of the house.
Meets Pillman 9mm.
Pillman's wife is screaming. Whoever, I forget who the
gun tucked into his ace bandage around his leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it goes back to Vince, and it's like, we don't know what happened there. Well,
you know who really makes that moment amazing? Kevin Kelly.
I was gonna say, I forget who the interviewer was.
His reporting of that.
Yes.
Oh man.
Stone Cold.
I will also remember the most ridiculous part of that. Stone Cold throwing one of these Bengals linemen into a kiddie pool. You stupid piece of trash.
Yeah. Stone Cold seeing the gun and booking it out of the house immediately.
Yeah.
So for Raw, I have 3 moments for me personally. I feel like we can't go through this without discussing June 27th, 2011. I
Wow, you have dates?
looked up the date because I didn't want to. That's the only date I have. But
Oh, okay. But
CM
that's
Punk,
awesome.
CM Punk sitting crisscross applesauce on the stage and delivering the pipe bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, it changed his entire career after
Mm-hmm.
that. It changed WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the moments where WWE felt hot again for the first time in a long time.
Yep.
I was a
And
lapsed fan when
yeah,
that moment happened, and I had to tune in.
yeah,
One of my friends at the time called me, and he's like, "Dude, you missed it. Oh, Monday Night Raw." And I'm like, "I don't give a damn." And he's like, "No, they let CM Punk talk."
yeah,
What do you mean they let him talk? He did a shoot.
yeah.
No, it was a worked shoot. And then I watched it, and I was,
Right.
Yeah.
holy shit.
Because you got to think of what WWE was in 2011 and what CM Punk was saying. He said he mentioned Brock Lesnar by name before he came back to the company. He mentioned Ring of Honor, New Japan, Colt Cabana. He was saying he was openly going to go back to Ring of Honor with the WWE title.
Yep.
And like he said, I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world in that ring, on this microphone, even in commentary. Nobody can touch me. And it was just the way it sounded. It sounded like it legit sounded like what it was. It was a guy absolutely fed up with what was getting served to him, and he had enough of it.
Yep.
It was beautiful. And John Cena.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have the impact unless John Cena sells it like he did.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just laying there. And like, because John Cena was the WWE poster boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's laying there busted up, and he can do nothing to defend the flag.
Yeah.
And
he said, what did he say? He said,
as you're laying there as uncomfortably as you possibly can.
And then he said the only thing you're better than at me is kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
Yep.
And like you're even better than Hulk Hogan was. And like Hulk Hogan was in TNA at the time. And then he goes off on how mad he is that The Rock got the main event of Mania and not him.
Dwayne.
Yeah. Dwayne.
You're not better than Dwayne. Dwayne's a pretty good kiss ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just nothing was like that on WWE TV at the time. It was just so refreshing, and like CM Punk probably isn't what he is now without that.
Right. I agree.
And like
I mean, even in the Best in the World WWE release about CM Punk, everyone says that was the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even supposed to be that.
No.
Because what you had was they just basically said, screw it, we're going to let you talk.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, I'll talk.
Yeah. Another moment I have is 2013. I don't have the date, but it's in 2013. John Cena just defended his title, or he was cutting a promo, I think, and Mark Henry's music hits. And he walks out in a salmon-colored suit.
Yeah.
And I believe they were in Texas, but I'm not sure. But
Houston.
Mark Henry proceeds to cut incredible retirement promo where he said, "Hey, like, your mama, I'm coming home." Like, he mentions his kids, and he's like, "You're gonna have a father in your life." And like, it was so believable because in 2013, Mark Henry's body wasn't what it was. He was injured a lot, and then at the end of this promo where Mark Henry's legitimately crying, Cena puts the WWE title on him, and he raises his hand, and then Mark Henry catches him, world's strongest slam, and he goes, "I got a lot left in the tank."
Yeah.
And it is one of the best. There is no better fake retirement in the history of wrestling than Mark Henry, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
it's perfectly done.
Yeah. It set up Mark Henry and John Cena at Money in the Bank that year for the title. If I were booking, Mark Henry would have won that belt just off that moment alone, but it is what it is.
I don't think at that moment, and I agree with you in principle.
Yeah.
I don't think at that moment you could have trusted Mark Henry.
No, because at that time he was very beat up, and
yeah, physically he could no.
He proceeded.
You would have had to diminish it immediately.
Yeah.
But he did end up from that though during that heel period, that heel persona. He did end up getting a long run with the belt.
Yeah, well, he
had the world
of.
He had the world heavyweight title. Yeah.
Team Authority. He was a part of Team Authority.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
I don't even remember
for that. Team Authority versus Team Cena. And if
that was
the Survivor Series.
Sting's WWE debut.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And the third moment I had, it actually didn't happen all that long ago. It was on the 30th anniversary of Raw, the special Raw 30 episode. It was the trial of Sami Zayn in the Bloodline.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Yeah, you had everyone there. You had Roman, Solo Sikoa, the Usos. You had the whole Bloodline. And, Roman as the judge, the executioner. Paul Heyman giving evidence as to why Sami shouldn't be in the Bloodline. And Jey Uso, who wasn't a fan of Sami Zayn because, they weren't family, but Jimmy Uso was sticking up for him. And then finally, Sami Zayn goes, I have nothing. If this is your guys' thing, I don't have anything. And Roman loses his mind on him. And he finally yells for Solo to finish it. And then and then it's Jey Uso that saves him. Because he realizes how important he is and he realizes how good of a person he is.
It was really well done.
It was an incredible moment. It was an incredible segment, not even moment, just a great segment.
I agree.
I just thought of a moment that I'm shocked we haven't brought up. Jerry Lawler's heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was more of a shoot moment, but yeah.
I remember watching that live.
I do too.
I remember watching the elbows that Dolph gave him, and I'm like, I don't know if a 50, 60-year-old man can take those.
Yeah.
And then I remember it happened, and you're like, oh, it's a work. And as the show went on, you realized, no.
Yeah, because he did the match. He did the match and then he went on commentary because the heart attack actually happened in
the middle of commentary.
Yeah. So they're calling a match and then all of a sudden you just don't hear Jerry Lawler's voice. Yeah. And you're like, huh, that's a little odd.
I remember you hear Michael Cole say King.
Yeah.
King. And then you hear, oh no.
Yeah.
And you're
and then commentary goes completely dark.
Yeah.
And they're not shooting because you know how sometimes you can see commentary in the background? They don't even have that shot. It's just a straight shot of the hard camera. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they come back from commercial and Michael Cole is like, I regret to inform you guys, but Jerry Lawler just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was brutal.
Yeah. Lawler even said in an interview that he thinks it was those elbows from Dolph Ziggler that caused it. He's actually.
Look.
I mean, who knows? But
yeah, fuck Jerry Lawler. Look,
and
I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was irresponsible for Lawler to put that out there. Look, if you were worried about taking the elbows, you've seen Dolph work. You know how those elbows work.
Yeah.
There's an onus on you to know what you can and cannot do. You agreed to take them.
Right.
Well, but to be fair, though, I like I said, I remember him saying that, but I also remember it coming across as an offhanded comment. Like I don't remember him saying, I blame Dolph Ziggler. You know what I mean? I just
keep in mind that when that happened, there was already some heat on Dolph for working unsafe.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of buried him. in a way with that comment. You have to know the climate.
Yeah.
I never respected Jerry Lawler after that, but I will say this about the heart attack. We forget that 3 professionals cut a blistering promo to end that show. Bret Hart, Mick Foley, CM Punk.
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
They saved that show. Those 3 went out like some top tier pros and delivered an amazing promo that saved it. Yeah. And so I think that, you know, we talk about live TV going wrong. Well, live TV went wrong, but what about the moments where people save live TV?
Right.
A moment that just popped into my head was 2014. Yeah, it was 2014, I think. It was when the Shield broke up. They just came off their feud with Evolution.
Yep.
Batista, that was Batista's last night in the company. That same night, I believe, to go film Guardians of the Galaxy. And then the Shield are in the ring, and then Triple H goes, "You think you have us, but there's always a plan B." And then all of a sudden, Roman goes down, and then it cuts, and Seth Rollins is holding a steel chair. And Dean Ambrose sells it incredibly. He's like, "What the fuck?" And then he hits Dean Ambrose, and then that pretty much jumpstarts the Seth Rollins we know now as this main event architect type guy.
Funny story about that. I was at the following week's Raw Live. It was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Because Daniel Bryan had to vacate the title.
Yeah.
That next week. And I remember being there and the news kind of circulating. And I remember the Shield were in the main event, and you knew it was the end of the Shield because Roman and Dean went around the ring and shook hands with all the fans.
Yeah.
And so then, that was a big moment.
That jump started the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins feud that continued throughout the year. Roman becoming the big dog or whatever.
Such a lame gimmick.
And pretty much like think about what the Shield did for those guys even now. Like Roman, one of the biggest names in wrestling. Seth, one of the top guys in WWE. John Moxley now leaving WWE to join AEW, and now he's one of the biggest names in AEW. And like, just think about what would happen if they didn't break up the Shield when they did, because the Shield were newly babyface.
I think they could have kept it going a little bit longer, but I get why they did it when they did it.
I was bothered by it. I wanted to see a little bit more of a run for the Shield as baby.
Yeah, because the Shield babyface run, it was short, but it was really good, I thought. It was, and then
you just had them take out one of the top factions in pro wrestling history.
Yeah, they beat Evolution twice clean on pay-per-view.
And swept them in the elimination match the night before.
Yeah.
So to me, it was forced, but looking at it, I can't really complain about them doing it when they did it because it makes sense.
Yeah. And you had 3 guys that were ready to be main event guys right then and there. So why not strike while you can? And it's always better in wrestling to strike when people aren't expecting it than when the Shield inevitably becomes cold or they're not as popular as they were, and then people are just kind of waiting for them to disband or whatever. Like,
right.
It's always better for stables to disband like that.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I have one other Raw memory. Unfortunately, it's a very somber one, but the night of the Benoit murders.
Oh man.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember coming home. So I was working that night. So I come home from work, and it's already about halfway through the show, and I have no idea what's going on. And I turn on Raw, and they're showing an old Benoit match, and it says on the screen at first, when I first turned it on, it said on the screen in the lower left-hand corner, in memory of Chris Benoit.
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, what happened?
Yeah.
And I remember reading online that he was supposed to be at the pay-per-view the night before, but then he wasn't. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on? He must have been really sick. So I'm watching this and I'm figuring out, okay, they're showing classic matches of his because he's dead. And then it gets to be a little bit later in the show and the graphic changes to all three of them, Benoit, Nancy, and I forget their son's name. Daniel. So then it's, you know, in memory. So it's showing all three of them. And then my first thought when I see, wait, they're all dead. My first thought was they must have gotten into a car accident. That was literally my first thought.
Yeah.
They must have got into a really bad car accident that took all, they were probably all together. And, you know, and because why else would all of them be dead together, you know?
Yeah.
So that was my first thought. And then as the show went on, it didn't become any clearer, but things started before Raw was even off the air that night. Things were already starting to unfold online
before the show ended. Yeah.
I think what's difficult about that entire situation, and one thing that I will never comprehend, is people were telling Vince like 2 hours before showtime, let's not do this.
Yeah.
There's rumors being circulated. It's being investigated as a homicide. And then I believe it's Jim Ross that has said, he told Vince, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is being investigated as a murder-suicide at this point. And Vince goes, no, we're going through with it. People will understand, essentially. And no, people didn't. And had he not have done that, had he handled it like he did the Owen Hart situation, where he was like, if you want to wrestle, wrestle. If you don't, don't. I think it would have been better off, because I think that set pro wrestling back a lot. Because then you opened Pandora's box. You opened up the accusations of steroid use. You
concussions.
Went all the way back. Now they're bringing up Owen again. Now they're bringing up the steroid trials. Now they're going back and they're bringing up the Ring Boys. I remember
that all would have happened anyway.
I think some sources would have. I don't think it would have been the vitriol they had if they wouldn't have made it a tribute show.
Yeah,
I disagree. I don't think it would have mattered. I think it was a no-win situation.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to defend Vince. He's the last person I want to defend, but in his mind, as people are telling him this, he's probably like thinking, how can that possibly be true? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he probably couldn't even process. I mean, how could he? How could anybody even in the moment process any of this information? So I'm actually gonna, again, I don't want to defend the guy. I think he's a scumbag, but I'm gonna give him a pass on that one. I get it.
But do we agree that it could have been done better?
Oh, sure. Oh,
yes.
Of course,
okay.
In hindsight, sure.
Yeah.
I remember.
Anything's better than what they did.
In the moment, I mean, I don't know.
So
I think you have to wait until all the facts are known.
Yeah.
And they didn't have all the facts. They didn't. Like, it was still an ongoing investigation.
But it's such a wild, extenuating circumstance. I don't know. It's so shocking. It's so out there.
It is shocking. It is wrong. It is harrowing. It's all of the flipping above. I give you both that. Fine. But at the end of the day, not all the facts were known.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you don't do, Like, that would be like Germany doing an Adolf Hitler tribute show when he died in the bunker. Like,
it would.
Chris Benoit is like,
holy
okay.
false equivalence, Batman. What?
So
I'm gonna shut up.
This was because I was very.
So guys, it's been fun. I am fully expecting to be kicked off the internet after this. Enjoy Tough Bumps. I guess Austin now becomes the de facto creator.
I guess so. Yes.
Well, I just remember because I was very young when the Benoit stuff happened.
Yeah.
And I actually remember watching that pay-per-view live because my parents used to order the pay-per-views. And I remember they showed the promo
Did your mom bitch when she had to pay for them like she did when she had to... Oh, okay, good.
Because I remember the match was supposed to be Chris Benoit versus CM Punk for the ECW title. It was vacant. And I remember being so excited for that match. And then all of a sudden CM Punk comes out, and then it waits a while, and then John Morrison's music hits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's not the match we're supposed to get here.
Yeah.
And Joey Styles on commentary goes, yeah, Chris Benoit couldn't make it tonight. He has a family emergency. Like, we don't know it. We don't know what it is, but and then the next day, I believe, is when it came out that Benoit had died. And everybody was, and I remember just being shocked. And then the episode of Raw, I'm watching Raw with my parents and my brother at the time, and it's a Benoit tribute show, like you said. And then I want to say it was like before the show was over. I know that I remember my dad on the internet. My dad was on the internet just scrolling through stuff, and I just hear him go, "Oh my God." And I turn around and I go, what? And he goes, this isn't good, like what they're doing. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, there's a very good chance Benoit killed himself and killed his wife and kid. And just me being a little kid, like, couldn't even process that. I'm just like, I don't even know what that means. Like, and then the next day is when everything comes out, and then you had Vince McMahon on ECW the next night go, what we did last night was wrong. What we did not have all the information, and this will be the last time you will ever hear or see the name Chris Benoit on WWE programming.
Yeah.
And to me, because wrestling was kind of like all I knew. I didn't know the internet. I didn't know anything like this. And that is when I knew how bad the situation was. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was working at my college radio station as an on-air DJ for 88.3 KCCK. I was filling in for someone that Monday night, and I was still following wrestling, but not really watching. I'd read recaps on the web. I remember it's summer. How do I want to say this? I remember getting a text from our newspaper advisor saying, how would you feel about writing an online post? And I'm like, about what? And she's like, and she called, and I'm like, what about what? And she goes, this Chris Benoit guy.
Yeah.
Because I'd written a column about Eddie Guerrero when he passed, and she really liked it, and it was submitted for awards. It did not win, but it was submitted. And I'm like, the facts aren't entirely known, she's like, okay, she goes, let's wait and see what happens then. And about 45 minutes later, I get a text, call me, all caps. And I'm like, okay. And my phone was blowing up with messages from, I was really big in the, really involved in the MMA community. I had text messages from promoters in the state of Iowa, like promoters of mixed martial arts events, like, this is going to screw us over. Because at that time, UFC was lumped in with World Wrestling Entertainment.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I called and she goes, what do you know? And I go, Chris Benoit and his family were found dead. It's being investigated as a murder. And she said, and this is at, I want to say about, it's right before Raw was set to air. She goes, it's now being investigated as a murder-suicide. And I'm like, okay, so his wife killed him. And she goes, no. And I immediately began looking online, and that's when things were starting to get pieced together.
Yeah.
I declined to write a column because I said, I can't write a column about this because you can no longer differentiate between the human Chris Benoit and the wrestler Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
The line, there is no more line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so anything I write is going to be disparaging to him.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and knowing pro wrestling fans like I do, that's not going to be good for us as an organization. I said, because there's going to be a Kirkwood student that's a pro wrestling fan that reads that and says, oh, well, Chris Benoit didn't deserve that. Chris Benoit deserved better. No, you dumb son of a bitch. Chris Benoit's wife and kid deserved better than that.
Yeah.
But that was the fear, was what would we catch? And it's one of those decisions that I stand by. I do not regret it. If you offered me the chance to go back 100 times over, I'd make the same decision. It wasn't the time or the place to write about it. So yeah, that was just a tough night. And, you know, I think that is one of those, every sport has a day of infamy. That's the day of infamy for professional wrestling.
Yeah, because it's like everyone knows where they were when they read that Chris Benoit died. Everyone remembers where they were.
Yeah.
And it's honestly Paul Heyman that said it best during one of his like live Q&As, like, because he goes, only one person could have died that night, but that one person chose 3.
Yeah.
Like only one person could have died that night, but instead 2 people lost their lives for no reason.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, it's actually been a longer than usual show. We should probably start to wind this down unless anybody had anything else on Raw memories. Maybe if you got anything quick or
I would like to end it on a positive note.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But look, Raw changed professional wrestling forever.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
You cannot understate that. It took pro wrestling from Saturday morning's kids programming to mainstream must-see TV. And, you know, people sit here and say the Monday Night War changed wrestling. You don't have the Monday Night War without Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Ted Turner does not put WCW on prime time without the success of Raw.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you really gotta sit there and say, from auspicious beginnings, even with the auspicious beginnings, it was still great TV. Regardless, you had some great matches, and it was a great way to hang out with your friends for 1 hour on Monday nights to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be worth mentioning you could do that on Monday nights prior to Raw, because they had USA had Primetime Wrestling, which ran for a long time on Monday nights prior.
That was more of a talk. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I used to love that too.
Oh, Primetime Wrestling was amazing. We could do an episode. We could do a whole another episode on Primetime Wrestling. Austin might have to sit that one out.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I'll be honest.
That's for us long in the tooth individuals.
But without that, because obviously, because they had that relationship with the USA Network already, because
very true.
Because WWF had been on USA Network for many, many years before Raw, and wrestling fans were already conditioned to watching on Monday nights because they were watching Primetime Wrestling. But then Raw being live and being different, because starting out at the Manhattan Center and everything, it was something so cool and new and different that it really upped the ante.
And every match had a big fight feel.
Yeah.
You had the ring girls, which were horrible, but you had the ring girls. You had celebrities there. I remember William Shatner beating up Jerry Lawler.
The Shatner stuff is great because Shatner was really into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had some great stuff, and it even kept you on the edge of your seat during commercials because they would leave you hanging like there's more Raw after the break.
Yeah.
So all the things we take for granted now were so awesome and revolutionary 33 years ago when it premiered.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It completely changes how we view wrestling. You know, like there's a lot of companies don't get on TV without Raw.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. Well, all right, guys. Well, should we talk about next week?
Yes, next week's episode, we will be talking about unsung pro wrestling stars. The guys that kind of get forgotten as being stars and really shouldn't get forgotten. Guys that you may not know about, guys that we may jog your memory.
Yep.
Austin, will you be joining us for this episode?
I hope so. I think so.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we might have to do like a matinee start time next week because sports ball.
Oh, you have sports ball to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. The teams that decide who goes to the Super Bowl is next. Those games are next Sunday.
Super Bowl. I've heard of it.
I know you have.
Okay.
George
Will once described football as a series of committee meetings interrupted by random acts of violence.
Okay, well, Austin and I need to watch the committee meetings.
Okay. Yeah, whatever time you guys want to do is good for me.
Yeah, well, we'll look at kickoff and we'll figure it out. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy having Austin on.
Absolutely.
Even though he tried,
I enjoy being here.
Good.
Even though he tried to steal credit, I can't get past this.
Well, he didn't try to steal credit. I just assumed.
Yeah.
I just assumed he had created the show.
I took the credit that he assumed.
You know what? If I get kicked off the internet for my Benoit Hitler comparison, Austin becomes a de facto creator.
Okay.
And you two can just have a still photo of me in the lower left-hand corner and put in memory of.
We can do an episode all about you. We'll share memories of you.
Right.
No, please don't. Austin might have some stories that we don't want in the public dissemination.
I see. I understand.
True.
I understand.
Yeah. In Austin, before you get any ideas,
Yeah.
that runs both ways.
Right.
That runs both ways.
It does. It does.
I have one in my head right now. So yeah.
Well, very good. Very good. So Eric, of course, pilcherspoint.com. People can find you there. And your writings.
They can find me there. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Pilcher's Point, all one word. No apostrophe. Facebook, Eric Pilcher.
Very good. Very good. Austin, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter if you want to follow me on Twitter. I talk about wrestling on Twitter most of the time. So
good.
If you want to, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's a terrible app, but whatever. If you want to hear my like wrestling takes, depending on what I'm watching, you can find me there.
Excellent. Excellent. And of course, you can find me at mattconnerton.com and all of my exploits and so forth. So, all right. Well, another one in the books, guys. Thank you so much. Austin Hicks, Eric Pilcher. Thank you both.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. Please like and subscribe, or subscribe, depending on